The following program is brought to you by Naleo TV, the people's platform.
Aloha! Episode number 81.
Yes.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda. J.E. Roscoe.
John Hendricks.
Boy, and coulda, shoulda, woulda is the appropriate words we should use today because, boy, coaches are saying it, players are saying it, but they got to have a winner and got to have a loser. Two good games.
Close games. Two close games.
Okay,
Clearly
yeah.
one-score games. Down to the wire games.
Okay, yeah.
Right? It's
One
what you
of
want.
them a little bit more weather-related, but let's hop right into it. New England Patriots 10, Denver Broncos 7.
Yeah, tight one.
Wow, man. And first thing off, man, Denver, Jarrett Stidham. We talked about it.
Steady.
No Bo Nix, right? Came out, you would think, right? Yeah, he's going to be nervous, and you could see it at the beginning there, somewhat. Okay, I was watching him quite a bit there, and Peyton was trying to get him acclimated.
Yeah.
Steady, nothing super, just quick rollout and nice easy pass. But then he threw the big long one.
Right. I didn't see that one coming.
Boy, and made a big difference in his feelings of, hey, I might be able to do this today.
I belong here.
Yeah.
I belong. And the moment's not too big for me.
Exactly.
I've been prepared for this. I'm steady. Steady here.
Steady.
Steady, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
try
you-
to study steady and, see what you getty.
But, and the first thing I thought of was, how did New England prepare for Stidham? Well, we'll go watch some of his game. Well, there is
You're not
no
gonna do
game
any
film.
of that. Yeah.
We can go back to 5 years ago
Yeah.
when he was playing at Auburn.
Yeah.
And then come find out, I did my research on him. He ended up, Bo Nix came the year after he left
Auburn.
And
Yeah.
the year before that, he had stayed out a year because Art Briles at Baylor Bears got bumped out.
Sure.
He ended up going to Midway High School in Waco, Texas, to go throw to high school
Waco.
players, boy. In fact, he got to the football camp. He called the coach. Coach said, yeah, come on down. And he goes down there, and he was still young, about 18 years old and such. And all the other players were going like, man, he's 6'2", man, 200.
Grown.
I don't have a chance of starting a quarterback here. And they go, no, he's going to be practicing with us.
Yeah.
Thank you, Coach. That's good. So stood out the year, bounced around. We talked about him being in New England.
Long time, actually.
Josh Daniels got the job in Las Vegas. Said, I want him. Brought him there. Backed up Derek Carr there.
Yeah.
A couple of ball games there. Then on to Denver and had his chance. And all in all, it's hard to say. You'd have to say, if it was on a neutral field, I say neutral by way of good weather, what kind of ball game would it have been?
Well, I mean,
for
the
him?
weather wasn't really a big factor to start the game. Maybe the wind a little bit. But the first half, I mean, nice clean field. Everything was looking good. And kind of going back to knowing about Jared Stidham and how do you prepare for him, I wonder a little bit, with old Tom Brady's hands in everything these days. He's, owning the Raiders. He's broadcasting. He's doing this and that. If anybody knew about Jared Stidham, I think Tom Brady would know a little bit about him. Could he? And he wasn't broadcasting that game. So could he have helped out the Patriots a little bit by giving them a little bit of information? Would that be a crossing the line there? I don't think there are any lines when it comes to Tom Brady. And Tom Brady can do whatever he darn well pleases because he has afforded himself the ability to do whatever he wants.
7 rings.
Yeah, that
Two
says it
different
all.
franchises.
2 different franchises. Yeah. Captain America. So he can do whatever he wants. Game starts out a little bit like, no, nothing's going on. First 2 possessions. And all of a sudden, he throws that gorgeous pass, and it gets that real big chunk yards, gets him down in the scoring area. No guarantees from there, though, just because you're in the scoring area, especially with the backup.
Right, very much so.
Which pass was better? the pass to get him down into the scoring area or the actual touchdown pass?
Well, and I'd have to argue that is the initial one down there, boy, to get the arm, to get it there.
Not more important, but a better throw. You thought it was a better throw?
Oh, yeah.
I kind of thought the touchdown, or maybe the play, or whatever, the whole thing combined. It was so important for the Broncos to cap off that really nice, unexpected, deep field throw from Stidham. With 7 points and clean 7 points, not aided by penalties. There wasn't a pass interference in the end zone. Then you just kind of, run it in or do like your version of a tush push, but a really clean play that he threw a really good ball on. And I'm starting to think, I look at Mrs. Henderson and go, oh, wait a minute. Maybe all this Stiddy talk wasn't just a bunch of bull Stiddy. You know what I mean? Just to try to get us interested in the game. He might have something here. But that was it.
Yeah, the Denver QB coach was quoted as saying, yeah, I talked to him, man. I said, hey, you're going to have interceptions. You're going to have a fumble. You're going to have not making a third down, man. You're going to have a touchdown.
Okay.
You cannot go up or down.
Yeah.
You have to be steady, to use that word again. You cannot let the emotions take over you.
That's interesting talk from a coach to say those things and bring them up and maybe put some bad images in his head, as opposed to just being too optimistic and saying, no, you're going to have a great game. I visioned it all out on a vision board. Nothing bad's going to happen. But the interesting thing about that is instead of having those bad things happen first and then coming back and playing well afterwards, he played his best ball early, and then those bad things happened afterwards.
He seemed pretty relaxed a little bit. You saw him smiling quite a bit during the course of the ball game. Yeah.
Let's not forget here, this is an opportunity of a lifetime for him to get,
Never
what did he
imagine
have,
that he would be here.
4 starts before this? In how many years in the league? He had 4 starts, and probably not very meaningful starts. Do you remember any of them? I don't. I think he was 1-3, or he had 3 starts. He was 1-2. Doesn't matter. Not even a handful of starts, because a handful is 5. Not even a handful of starts. So to get a start when backups want to play, right? They don't want to just hold clip. Some of them want to hold clipboards, make money, and take vacations. But he wants to play. So to play in the AFC Championship game, it'd be bad as a Super Bowl. I don't think you want to get like, hey, I finally get to start. It's a Super Bowl.
You know, I was listening to Seattle radio over the previous week, and the guy goes, hey, listen, man, I'm not saying this to be negative or anything, but I promise you, man, on the sideline, when Bo Nix broke his ankle, Jarrett Stidham was on the sideline going, yes.
It is an opportunity, if nothing else. So, yeah. And then to come out and play the way he did early in that game, it looked like it was going to be trouble for New England, and they had all the momentum. I told Mr. Henry, I don't really see this changing. What I saw, it looked like something that was going to be consistent throughout the game, and the flow of the game wasn't going to change. There wasn't going to be these momentum swings, and then there was a decision made.
4th and 1, maybe a little bit more than 1, but terrible play. I mean, they destroyed that.
Well, listen, I called that one. I'll give myself credit. I called that one. It was like 3rd and 6. I said, the worst thing that could happen right now is to get 5 yards on 3rd and 6, because it's going to put into Sean Payton's head 4th and 1, bury him, right? Get that first down somehow. But which, by the way, even if you get that first down, you still haven't scored yet. Are you in for a penny, in for a pound?
Yeah.
How many
We've seen strange things happen at the 1 yard line.
But not just that. You still have many yards to go to get in to break that plane. So let's say you get that. You barely get that first down. Now it's 1st and whatever, 10 from the 14-yard line, wherever they were. You still got 14 yards to go. Are you going to keep going on 4th down, or are you going to kick it anyway at some point? So what have you gained, right? Unless you're just going to go all in on that. But the point is, it didn't matter. He, meaning Sean Payton, took points off the board in a game where if you're thinking Stiddy's going to get us down here all the time,
crystal ball to know what the weather was going to turn into.
Doesn't matter. Are you really that confident that you think Jarrett Stidham's going to get you a lot of scoring opportunities? He worked his butt off to get him that second scoring opportunity. You don't know how many more of those you're going to get.
Get this, man. Quote from Peyton, okay?
Yeah.
There's always regret.
Well, sure.
I felt like here we are, 4th and 1. We felt close enough. It's also a call you make based on the team you're playing and what you're watching on the other side of the ball. There's always going to be second thoughts.
Yeah.
The tough was,
sure,
I felt like we would be able to run the ball more consistently. I thought that was going to be important. We felt like we had one of our better run plans coming in. Gosh.
I love that quote because he brings up something that was critical in this game. Just kind of transition away from the fact. I'm not going to beat up Sean Payton that much for that call that Ben Johnson take points off the board so early in the game. Part of his belief system was being able to rack up rushing yards, which turned out to be the difference in this game. Look at the stats right there. 79 total rushing yards for the Broncos at home in that weather, 141 for the Patriots. And you need him when your quarterback, net yards? 86 throwing through the air. Not even a hundo.
And again, weather conditions. That second half, you're not throwing the ball. If you're throwing the ball, it is a low percentage, even if you're right on to the receiver, boy.
It seems dangerous. It seems dangerous. Even if
the
you make
wind blowing sideways.
And you can make a perfect throw, but those conditions, the receiver could lose sight of it. It could just come in hard off the hands. It bounces in the air. And even though you called a perfect play, you ran the perfect route, quarterback throws a perfect pass, it can still end up in the other team's hands. Just putting the ball in the air is scary.
Boy, and for Stidham, he had the added disadvantage playing in the snow against a team that was dressed in white.
I thought that was, that seemed
We're
unfair.
dressed in orange. I think this is a kind of a honey thing when you go out hunting for deer and such, okay?
You know what my comp was? I said, you remember my favorite in the series of Star Wars, I don't really like too many of the movies, but Empire Strikes Back, and you got those stormtroopers out in the snow, and you can't see them. It seems unfair, and that's kind of what it seemed. I said, this looks like Empire Strikes Back, where the stormtroopers are out fighting in the snow, and instant camouflage. Wow.
Well, let's go back to the turnover that happened, okay?
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Again, that was the part where inexperience comes your way. Take a sack. Throw it out of bounds immediately. Throw it at their feet. He ends up trying to like a little semi-shovel pass or whatever, and it goes backwards.
I didn't see that.
Now, they picked it up and ran it in for a touchdown, and it was a touchdown, except that the referees had blown the play dead.
Not supposed to do that.
So they had said, okay, well, the ball remains with New England.
That's a cardinal mistake in officiating at any level. We've been, over the years, since the past 10 years of football, it's always been, you let that play out, and you figure it out afterwards. You don't blow it dead, and that could have cost the Patriots points, but they were fortunate enough to have Drake May run it in, which, doing his best Josh Allen impression, if you will. Because if the Patriots weren't able to score those points, they have a legitimate gripe. Like, why'd you blow the whistle? Why did you, what I mean? You're supposed to let
another controversial play, boy.
That's incorrect. That was an incorrect a job by the officiating, but turned out not to matter. And I said, Miss Anderson, maybe it's better this way. Maybe it's better that the Patriots actually scored the touchdown. It gives them some confidence on offense, but it never really materialized, partially due to the weather. But let's not forget that the Broncos are bringing in a heavy-duty, serious, high-caliber defense that, I would say, regardless of the weather, stymied Drake May and the Patriots, particularly Drake May.
He became the first quarterback to take 5 or more sacks in 3 playoff games in a single postseason. Okay?
Yeah.
But he also became the first one to take down 3 top 5 defenses in one postseason. The Chargers 5th in total. Texans were 1st, and the Broncos were 2nd.
Right. So when looking at maybe a lack of production that you're seeing on the other side of on the other conference, where you're seeing quarterbacks light it up, you're saying, well, he's not. I mean, to his credit, he took on the toughest defenses. Some of it was tough conditions. It's his second year playing quarterback.
Jeez, that Patriot team, 4 wins 2 years ago. 4 wins last year. They're 9-0 on the road this year.
So how does all that happen? Starts out by having $1 billion to spend in free agency. I exaggerate slightly, but I think it was over $300 million they spent in free agency. It also starts by hiring the right coach to come in. What we called at the time, and I mean, not really a hot take, but a perfect fit, right, for New England, have Vrabel come in there, a guy who knows how to coach. So big turnaround there. Some of it's circumstantial. I'll throw it out there, too, for all your Denver fans out there. I'm with you. If you have Bo Nix, you can argue. I mean, if you want to talk about that kind of, it doesn't make it feel any better to say, if we have Bo Nix, hey, we're moving on to Santa Clara. I got no problem with saying that. It just doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
You don't. But you
He
know,
was there, had wheeling around with the little tray thing where you put your foot behind you there.
yeah, that's so sad because I mean, I think his skills translate to that kind of weather. He can be more creative because you look at what Drake May really did well. It's like over 60 yards rushing the ball, critical moments,
Right.
long 26-yard rushing play when you needed
Yes.
it. A
Boy,
rush,
seemed like he went on and on and on that play.
curling around on a 3rd and 6 to quote unquote literally ice the game with his feet. And scoring on a rushing touchdown, too, when they weren't sure how they were going to get the ball into the end zone early on.
He said he went on his own on that one, to which you'd imagine that Vrabel's on the sideline going, no. Oh, yes.
For a guy who's 17 years old, that's giving him a, not just kidding, but just giving him a lot
Get
of
this, man.
reins there.
The history was on Denver's side, okay? Patriots were defeated by the Broncos 86, 2005, 2013, 2015.
Yeah.
Tom Brady never won a single playoff game at Empower Field. Yikes.
Well, all they have to do is get rid of that guy. Thank God, finally. Poor Patriots. And we touched upon it last week. All this long drought of success, those tough, lean Mac Jones years they had to go through, and Cam Newton years, and oh man, what to real poor guys. Just must be tough with a drought. What a
3 years
drought.
out, and now they're back at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, good for them.
And then the second game of the day for us, the Rams at Seattle. An opportunity for another Kubiak to get a Super Bowl. This one, Clint Kubiak, the son of Gary Kubiak, former Texas A&M quarterback.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I didn't know
yeah.
that. Nice.
Um,
You got a lineage there, man.
he,
Good golly.
as the OC, did a pretty good ball game for one. Sam Darnold, no INTs, no fumble. If anybody was driving a bus there, John, he did a really good job of driving that bus.
My overall word for this game, and it includes Mr. Donald's performance, but it's encapsulating the whole thing, is astonishing. This game was astonishing. Not necessarily from the standpoint that it ended, on a last-second play in that sense that, like, holy cow, da-da-da. But just so many things that happened in this game were astonishing to me that would have been very, very difficult to forecast, if you will, for lack of a better word. And that forecast is a better word for the first game, come to weather. But I didn't see a lot of this coming, what happened in this game, the way this game played out. Give me something. I don't even know where to start other than, like, I was just astonished. But you can start. I would end with Darnold, quite frankly.
Yeah?
Yeah, because there's so many other things. We can start there, though. Like you said, I mean, he took some sacks, but he didn't fumble it, and he didn't throw it to the other team, and he didn't have any really bad throws. I mean, he was on point. He was on point.
When he had to be. 3rd and 7, 3rd and 9. Boy, I mean, it's a lot of big plays. But the defense, 3rd down for the Los Angeles Rams.
I'm looking at it.
Hit me.
12.5%, 1 of 8.
1 of 8 on 3rd down.
And Stafford, 0 for 6. 0 for 6. So the one they got was on a rush. So,
But you're watching the ball game, you're thinking, wow, man, they're moving up and down the field against Seattle, except when they needed to convert.
I didn't see that happening. I watched the whole game. I never missed a second of it. When I saw that stat afterwards, I go, like, that's not true. That's not true, but it was true. They just weren't good on 3rd downs, but they were good on 2nd down. They were great on 1st down. Gosh. I mean, it's just astonishing to me.
In that second half, they had a 14-play drive, go for it, and don't get it. Turnover on downs, deep in Seattle territory.
I'm trying to remember time that was left on the clock, how many timeouts they had, and this and that, because I kind of wonder, I thought, Sean, you don't want to just make this a 1-point game. You know what I mean? Like, 4th and goal, you're looking at, like, it's tough. It's tough down in there. It's so compressed.
4:54 left in the 4th.
I don't know how many timeouts they had. I think they still had 2 timeouts, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking, Sean, take these 3 points. It's an easy kick. Nobody's missed a kick yet in this game. 31-30, give it to the Seahawks. Maybe he's feeling like, though, like, oh, Sam Darnold's been beating us up all game.
Who was the happiest Seattle defensive player of the ball game.
Tariq Woolen.
And explain why, John, to our viewers and listeners.
Because he committed the only error that the Seahawks made all game long, I would say. They made one error in the whole game. Mental error, or whatever you want to call it. I mean,
Fourth down and I think 18.
Yeah. And I'm not saying like every pass that Sam Darnold throw, he didn't throw for 100% completions, but I'm just talking about an error in the game, a mistake. Each team had one mistake, I would say, basically.
Okay.
Otherwise, it was an astonishingly clean played game, properly coached. No big guffaws. I mean, there's some defensive plays, but more offense than defense. But his taunting call on 4th and 12, or 3rd and 12, if you want to call it that.
No,
You get the stop. Yeah. It's 4th and 12, taunting, new life, and then immediately on the next play. Yeah, immediately on the next
Sean
play.
McVay going, you know what? We're going right after him again. Let's do it again.
The word that Sean McVay kept using throughout the week is said, we need to play this game with courage. And they did. But I'm going to tell you this, too. You know who played the game with courage, too? Seattle at every position. You know who played the game with courage? Sam Darnold. Everybody played the game with courage. I'm going to say the same thing, too. The Rams, one mistake. And I don't understand this at all. Okay, the Rams are trying to accept a punt. Okay, I'm not.
Yeah, Xavier Smith.
Okay, so you're already on the ground before. Roll out of the way. Hey.
Just get away.
Just roll sideways. Just get. You're not going to field the ball on your back. Get out of the way.
That punter, I wish I had his name with me right now.
An expert.
All of his punts inside the 20.
Yeah.
Every single one, man. And pinning them back.
Special teams was an issue coming in this game.
They blocked punt on the last ball game.
All kinds of special teams issues for the Rams that they had, kept Carolina in the game. Yeah, they had some other miscues in the divisional round. Special teams was an issue. It reared its ugly head. And not unlike the Rams, the Seahawks instantly turned that error into 7 points. Both teams, right off the error, the next play, 7 points. Wow.
High-quality teams, that's why they're
high-quality
in the championship.
teams. This is an astonishing game.
We talked about Tariq Woolen, okay?
Yeah. Boo-boo.
The most happiest, okay?
Yeah.
My feeling for the most disappointed
tell me.
Los Angeles Ram.
Most disappointed Ram, yeah.
Is Devontae Adams.
Really?
Okay? 5 times he's been on the losing end.
Oh, I didn't know that.
4 times with Green Bay, okay, of the NFC Championship.
In the NFC Championship?
He's 6 Pro Bowls,
man.
3 first-team All-Pro selections.
That's brutal.
Almost 13,000 yards, 117 touchdowns. 3 times he's led the NFL in receiving TDs, including this year with 14. And he missed 3 games this season in addition. Yet, never been
just on the
to a Super Bowl,
doorstep
man.
so many times knocking. As much as I like to claim I know about football, I had no idea that this was Devontae Adams' 5th chance. Hadn't heard that all week from any of the stories circling out. Like, hey, 5th chance, it's got to be the time. Didn't want to bring it up, but to your point, you say, would I say that Matthew Stafford's most disappointing? Maybe because as the Rams were marching down the field, 31-27, and they're marching down the field, and I'm like, this is the best defense we've seen, not just this year, but in recent years. And Matthew Stafford doesn't care. And I said, if he scores this touchdown and they put him away, this is the best quarterback performance I can recall seeing, maybe even better than Tom Brady's comeback against the Falcons in the Super Bowl, just because of the defense he's playing against.
Yeah.
And he just
willing his team to stay close here, boy.
This close to the word masterpiece would have been an undersell for how well Matthew Stafford played this game. And he's still, the numbers are still all there.
Yep.
But it's just coming
almost
up short.
500 yards in total offense for the Rams.
It's literally coming up short on that 4th down, the fact that it had to get to 4 downs. That I don't know if we've ever seen a better performance under the circumstances playing against a better defense in a conference championship game at that level that Matthew Stafford, he should sleep well at night. Wasn't his problem. I don't think so. I think that it's just, so good. So the decision-making, carving him up. I understand he's got weapons, but nobody's been able to do anything against this defense.
Well, and then the other aspect of that, Puka was there, but he wasn't there. Okay. He was there on occasion, but the previous ball game, he took over that ball game. And I talked to my brothers before the ball game. I said, they need to control Puka. I think he got over 100 yards. Did he get over 100?
I'm having a little bit of a problem with your definition of not there when he had 9 catches, 165 yards, and a touchdown.
But
It wasn't good enough, huh?
no, it wasn't.
Well, on that last play, the 4th and goal, when Stafford threw to the back of the end zone and then the coverage was there and it really wasn't there. It's interesting. If he could, I think he felt the pressure a little bit, not the pressure of the moment, but the pressure of the line that really wasn't there because he could have kind of, easy for me to say, could have, should have, would have, could have kind of just slid to his right. And then Puka was breaking away from the 2 guys because he was double covered, but he had a move on him. He was breaking away to his left, if you will, because he's facing him, and that was the play right there. And that's just that one little thing right there. That's the difference in the game to me after that. But all credit to Seattle for being able to just finish out that game after that and taking the ball down the field and putting it into victory formation. And not needing, because it was 31-27 for a while. Mm-hmm. You could call it a flaw in the game that there were no points scored, they went back and forth. But listen, if you're the Rams, right, 27 points against the Seahawks is more than enough to win that game. It's on the defense. I'm so sorry. But more importantly, I'm going to give Sam Darnold credit.
Okay, here you go, Sam. He completed 5 of 11 passes under pressure, right? Which is something that the Rams were saying we got to do that against him. 102 yards, career high, 3 TDs in his first 2 games this season against the Rams. 0 TDs and 3 interceptions under pressure. Now, we talked about Puka, but oh my gosh, John,
Jackson.
How do you not cover JSN in that one pass to the corner of the end zone?
Yeah.
What a missed call there. They were all focusing on Cooper Kupp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's a reminder that the Seahawks, I understand you got Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, you got other weapons like Ferguson and things of that nature, Kyron Williams. I mean, but it's a reminder that Seahawks have a few weapons of their own. Yeah, they have a few weapons of their own out there, too. Jake Bobo scores.
Right.
Yeah, you know what that...
Fourth pass.
I'm not saying he's a weapon, but when you have so many weapons, a guy like Bobo is going to be available. And he wasn't wide open. Sam Darnold was amazing. He was amazing. His third down passing was terrific as opposed to Matt Stafford's. So, I mean, if you want to say, if you tell me for the game that Sam Darnold's going to just basically match up with Matt Stafford and we're going to call that a push and Matt Stafford's going to have one of the better games you ever hear of, but Darnold's going to match him.
You would never think that.
Darnold's going to match him throw for throw, moment for moment and not blow it. Yeah, right. But guess what? This was Sam Darnold's game. Everything that happened, put it all on the side. This was Sam Darnold's moment. This is his game. He was the difference in the game. MVP of the game, game ball, whatever you want to call it. Sam Darnold was phenomenal. And I've not been I don't like Seattle. I've never really been a Sam Darnold guy. I didn't give Minnesota a hard time when they decided to move off of him and not sign him to the contract. I was like, I don't see that as a problem at all.
Well, I mean,
I didn't think
final playoff game nightmare for him.
I didn't think it was a mistake for Seattle to pick him up and pay him all that money because they didn't overpay him. They didn't pay him $60 million or like Brock Purdy or Dak Prescott. They didn't overpay him. I didn't think it was a mistake, but I didn't think it was going to be this, and I didn't think this game was going to be this. All credit to Sam Darnold for showing up, cool, calm, collected, precision throws, never failed him for a second. Give Sam Darnold the win. Team game, 3 levels, complimentary football, da-da-da-da-da. But when the Rams offense, I mean, look at the total yards. 479 yards.
Almost 500 yards.
For the Rams on the dark side defense, and you still win because of Sam Darnold.
Thank you very much. And until we see you again, we bid you a fond aloha.
Ahuyo.